Bank employee humiliates black boy depositing money. Shame when his mom is the CEO. Jason, a 12-year-old boy, walked into a large bank downtown, excited to deposit his hard-earned savings into his new account. He had been working odd jobs, mowing lawns, washing cars, and selling homemade crafts, to save up for a new laptop. His mother had taught him the value of money and encouraged him to be responsible with his earnings. As Jason approached the counter, the bank teller, Mr. Collins, an older man with a stern face, looked at him with suspicion. "What do you want, kid?" he asked gruffly. "I'd like to deposit this money into my account," Jason said politely, handing over an envelope filled with neatly stacked bills. Mr. Collins frowned, eyeing the money skeptically. "Where did you get this kind of cash?" he demanded. "I earned it," Jason explained proudly. The teller scoffed. "Kids like you don't just walk in here with this much money. This looks suspicious. I bet you stole it." Jason's heart sank. "No, sir. I worked for this money," he insisted. Feeling humiliated as customers in the bank turned to stare at him, Mr. Collins smirked and shook his head. "I don't believe you. I'm calling security." Tears welled in Jason's eyes, but he stood his ground. He had done nothing wrong. Before Mr. Collins could pick up the phone, a woman's authoritative voice echoed through the bank. "Is there a problem here?" All heads turned as a well-dressed woman in a tailored suit stepped forward. It was Mrs. Johnson, Jason's mother. She was the CEO of the bank. Mr. Collins' face turned pale. "Ma'am, this boy was trying to deposit a suspicious amount of cash. I was just following protocol." Mrs. Johnson folded her arms. "Suspicious? Do you assume every young black boy with money is a criminal?" "And no, ma'am, This young man is my son," she interrupted, "and I taught him the importance of saving money. But instead of commending him, you humiliated him." The entire bank fell silent. Mr. Collins stammered, I didn't know." "You shouldn't have to know," she said firmly. "Every customer deserves respect, regardless of age or skin color." She turned to Jason. "Go ahead, sweetheart. Deposit your money." Jason smiled proudly and handed the envelope to a different teller. As his transaction was completed, Mrs. Johnson faced Mr. Collins one last time. "Report to HR. We don't tolerate discrimination in this bank." Mr. Collins hung his head in shame as security escorted him away. The customers murmured in approval, and Jason left the bank with his head held high, knowing his mother had stood up for what was right.